Hey guys, welcome to the Iron Mobility Fitness channel. My name is Coach Hallie and I am taking you through a deadlifting session today. So I hope you've already warmed up. If not, I have a link in the description of this video that is a good short mobility routine to help you warm up. So click that and then come back to this video. Okay, we're going to start with some split stance deadlifts. So you need 2 kettlebells for this, or you can do it with one really heavy kettlebell. But I have a 24 kilogram and a 16 kilogram. So I'm going to put the heavier bell on the inside of my front foot, lighter bell on the outside. Okay. And I'm going to set up with my split stance position. It's a pretty short stance. Back heels popped up. We're going to do 8 reps and then we'll switch sides. Okay. And the goal is to try to keep most of our body weight in this front leg. So we're, able to kind of pick up this back foot. There's not a lot of weight on it. And so it's moving toward more of a single leg deadlift exercise. So using unilateral strength is really important for, our functionality and strength in our everyday life. So I love to do exercises in a split stance position or an asymmetrical position like this. Okay, here we go. So set yourself up, hinge your hips back, grab onto your bells, keep your spine nice and lengthened with your tailbone reaching back behind you, chest pulling forward. Take a big breath in and exhale, press down through the floor, stand tall, and we're going to start our reps from here. We're inhaling as we hinge, exhale as we stand. 6 more. Try to find that tall stack position every time at the top. 3 left. Last rep. Hinge, set the bells all the way down. My brain could not process what was happening. And I'm just gonna keep the bells where they are, and I'm gonna turn around for you guys so you can see the other side. Take a few moments to breathe, no rush. Woo! It's a nice sunny day here. I always love working out outside. Got the Puget Sound right behind me, so beautiful. And the beautiful squawk of seagulls. I don't know if you can hear it, but they're crying out. All right, here we go. Other side, make sure your stance feels nice and stable. Back heel popped up. Again, the big bell is on the inside of your front foot. Inhale, hinge over, grab the bells, and begin. Exhale as you stand. We got 8 reps. Feel that front leg's glute reach back. Lengthening your hinge, finding as deep of a hip hinge as you can. Keeping most of your body weight in the front leg. 3 more. Last one. Bring them all the way down. Woo! Feels good. All right. Then we're going to work on some heavy power swings here in a moment. So I'm going to keep that same heavy bell that I just had for my deadlift. And we're going to do 8 reps of a power swing, which is, some people call it a dead stop swing, which is being in your hike position, grabbing the bell. You're going to hike it between your legs, swing it up once, bring it back to the hinge and back to the floor. So we bring it to the ground between every rep of that swing 8 times. So you do want to use very fast pull to get that bell back and a very fast hip extension to get the bell to float up, and then you're letting it come down, bringing it to the floor, taking a breath in between each rep. And it should be a pretty heavy bell for yourself. So I've got the 24 kilogram. This is a decent weight to do these with for me, but feel free to go as heavy as you'd like. Okay. We're working on our power here with this. So that speed and force production with our hip extension to drive the bell up quickly It's a great way to practice swings with a heavier bell before doing continuous swings so you can get used to the weight and move up in weight gradually. All right, we're gonna do 8 reps. Get yourself ready. You wanna be about a foot's distance back from your kettlebell. So set your feet up, nice wide position, all 10 toes facing forward, hinge over, tilt the handle toward you, break the bar, get those lats to engage. Big breath in and hike. Exhale as you swing it up. Five more. Three left. You got it. Just one more. Big breath in. Woo! Rest. Awesome. We're going to take about 90 seconds of rest, and then we're doing all of that again. So the split stance deadlifts and the round of the power swings right after. Get some water. Just take some time to breathe. We want adequate rest time between our sets so we can recover a little bit. Our muscles can get some oxygen, and that's how we make more like hypertrophy, muscle building gains and strength gains, is getting that adequate rest between the work, right? We don't just want to go, 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 go. Because especially if you're able to just go, go, go and not stop between things, then you can probably go heavier with your lifts. Just saying. So if you have like, a 10 to 15 pound kettlebell that you're working with, it's time to upgrade probably. If you're feeling like, well, this is light and I don't really need rest afterwards, I can just go on to the next exercise or move on to the next set without any rest between. That means your body has adapted well to the effort that's required to move that weight. And it's time to upgrade, my friend. Whew. Here we go. Shake it out. We'll go in about 15 seconds. So set your bells up. Pick a wedgie if you need to. It's a good time to do it. Okay. Here we go. Front foot in between the bells. The big bell again is on the inside of that front foot. Back heel is lifted off the ground. Make sure it's not too far back, right? We want a short stance, just about, a foot's distance back from my other foot. Here we go. Hinge over. We've got 8 reps. Big breath in. Break the bar and lift them up. And now 8 reps, hinging over. Exhale as you stand. Driving that front legs glute back. Stretching that hamstring. 4 more. 2 left. Last one. Hinge all the way over. Set them down. Woo! All right. And now we want about, 30 to 45 seconds of rest before we do the other side as well. So make sure you're taking some time to breathe. Try to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And then we set up for the other side. Yeah. Here we go. Gotta psych myself up. Some days the motivation is not really there, but the commitment and the dedication to keep doing it is something that we get into our routine. We stay dedicated, even if we feel like we don't have the motivation. And then we find it after we start moving a little bit. It feels good. Here we go. Hinge over. We got our opposite foot forward now. Break the bar, get those lats to engage. Inhale. And stand. 8 reps from here. Hinging over. Exhale, stand. Find that deep hinge. And try to lengthen that glute back. It's an active stretch. 4 left. 2 more. Last rep. Bring the bells down. Woo! Awesome. Move that smaller bell off to the side. Whew. Because we've got our power swings next. So we're going to take about 45 seconds just to breathe before we go into these, because we want to recover a little bit. Make sure we're not working from an empty tank, especially when we require so much speed and power for this drill. Okay. You ready, friends? We've got just 8 reps. And we're not going to do a third set of this circuit. Just to let you know, for time's sake, for keeping this video short and, exciting for people, we're only doing 2 sets. But you can pause and always rewind and do a third set if you'd like. But after this, we're going to move on to some single leg deadlifts and some split stance swings, which will be fun. Okay, so hinge over. We've got 8 reps of these power swings. Tilt the handle toward you. Big breath in. Use that exhale as you push down through those feet and stand. Try to float that bell up using the power in your hips. Three more. Actually, now I think it's 3 more. That was 5. 2 left. Here we go. Last one. Woo! Rest. Oh yeah, that felt good. Shake it out. Take some time to breathe. Woo! And then we're going into, there's a little bug on my water bottle. Then we're going into a new superset. So again, feel free to do all that again if you really want. But for the sake of keeping this video about, under 25 minutes, we're gonna move on. We're gonna do some single leg deadlifts. So I'm gonna grab a 16 kilogram bell for this. And you can use whatever weight you'd like. We are gonna do 8 reps of these. And what we're doing is we're changing the kettlebell between hands. So this is why I'm going a little lighter than I would normally do for a single leg deadlift, because we're pausing in the hinge position and changing the kettlebell over to the opposite hand before we stand up. So we're gonna do a total of 8 reps, but it will be 4 in each hand, if that makes sense. And then we're gonna do the other leg, okay? So find your position. Make sure there's no bumps in the ground. This feels good right here for me. Okay, set your bell next to the inside of your front foot. You're gonna hinge over just like you did in the split stance position with the back foot on the ground to grab the bell. And then you're gonna lift that back foot off the ground. And we're gonna hinge over, balancing, change the kettlebell to the right hand or the hand that's the same side as your standing leg. Stand up, hinge back over, switch it back to the first hand, stand tall. So that was 2 reps. So we are doing 6 more total reps. It takes you a moment to gracefully switch that kettlebell over. So take your time with it. And, you know, if you lose your balance at any point, that's okay. Just do the best you can. It's trickier switching the kettlebell mid-lift. Whoops. We got 1 more on each hand. So coming down, switch to that opposite hand. Stand up with your exhale. Last rep. Switch the kettlebell. Woo. Stand tall and hinge to set it down. Woo! Oh yeah. And you're getting a little more time under tension as you're balancing in that position, switching the kettlebell over and before you're standing. So it's a little more work. It's a nice challenge for your balance and stability, and gets that glute to really activate a little bit more. Okay, take a few breaths. Try to slow down your breath a little before we start this other side. Okay, here we go. Get in the split stance position. Hinge over, grab the bell. Stand tall. And now we're lifting that back foot off the ground. Hinging over, switch the bell. Exhale, stand. Hinge back over. Switch the bell to the first hand. Good, 6 more times like that. Fun, right? Fun for your brain. It's a good challenge for your hip hinge, your balance. Woo. And I think that's harder for me, going from the outside hand back to the first hand is where I lose my balance sometimes. So I got to really focus. Woo. Okay, 1 more time on each hand. Glute is starting to cramp. Here we go, last one. Woo! Oh, lost my balance right at the end there. Such is life. Okay, we're gonna move that bell off to the side. We're gonna grab a lighter bell that you're comfortable doing single arm swings with, because we're doing some split stance single arm swings, and we're gonna alternate hands and feet as we swing. I'm gonna start a timer. We're gonna go in about 25 seconds. So you're gonna start in the split stance position. The kettlebell here in front of you. You're gonna hike it, stand up, switch your foot back, and the hand that's holding the bell switches at the top, okay? If the footwork is too much for you, you can just do bilateral stance and switch the swing at the top, or you can even do just double arm swings if you're more of a beginner and the single arm swings aren't at your party level yet, okay? All right, here we go. Split stance position if you can. Going in 3, 2, 1, begin. And we're hiking and then switching at the top, switching the feet, keeping a steady tempo. Trying to get that bell to float up. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bring the bell down. Woo. Rest. That was about 40 seconds. Whew. Just rest. Gonna take about a minute of rest. And then we're doing one more round of that, starting with those single leg deadlifts. Okay. Woo. And then we'll be done with this workout. Just one more round. Woo. So grab whatever bell you'd like to use for your single leg deadlifts, maybe the same one you had, or maybe go up in weight if you'd like, or go down in weight if you were like, wow, that was humbling. I need a little lighter to find more balance and work on my balance first. Here we go. So we have 8 reps total, 4 in each hand, switching the hand at the bottom hinge position. Here we go. Hinge over, grab the bell, stand tall, shift your weight over into that standing leg, and then hinge, switch the bell over, stand tall, and repeat, but switching that bell back to the first hand. And notice I'm not going super low with my chest. I want to keep my chest a little bit higher than my hips and pelvis. So I make sure that the load is going into my standing legs glute and not my back. One more in each hand. Actually, I think I miscounted. We need to do one more in each hand now. And if it's extra, it never hurts you to do 2 extra reps. Awesome. Set the bell down, shake it out. Take about 30 seconds just to breathe. Find that 3-dimensional breath. Feels so good to finally be working out in spring weather with sunshine on my face. All right, let's set up for this other side. Make sure your foot feels nice and stable, a place where you can balance. Here we go. Get in your split stance, hinge over, grab the bell, stand tall. Shift that weight over to your standing leg, hinge, and switch the bell. Exhale, stand. And inhale. Exhale. 6 more times. Take your time with it. There's no rush. It's a really good, humbling exercise. And it's going to work on so many things for you. One more on each arm. Last rep. Set that bell down. Woo! Oh yeah, that felt great. Can really feel my glute there. Okay guys, last 30 seconds of this workout. Take a few breaths before we go into these swings. And let's set up with the opposite foot forward that we started with last time. So I'm gonna have my left foot forward and my right hand grabbing the bell. Going in 10 seconds. Take a few breaths. In 5, 3, 2, begin. "15 seconds left. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Yeah, that felt great. I hope you enjoyed the workout, guys. Woo! You can do a third round of that if you'd like. Just pause, rewind, and join me for a third round. Or finish there and cool down on your own. Awesome. Thanks for joining me. Subscribe to the Iron Mobility Fitness channel, like this video, leave a comment, and share with a friend. We'd really appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Bye.